What's up, peeps? I'm your host, as always, Lee Benz, and welcome to the February 8th edition of the AEW Insider. Thank you very much for joining us. Tonight is an exciting night for some AEW news. It was the AEW press conference pool party, and they did not disappoint. It was epic, like their last one. Those guys are the best. Definitely check us out on AEW Insider on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Anchor, what have you. I just did a podcast, and now I'm doing a video so I can get this out to you guys tonight. Won't see it tomorrow, though, because I got to do a lot of editing. I just don't want to throw it out like these other clowns do. They'll just get breaking news, put it out, and then the video's crap. You know what I mean? But on to it. The AEW Pool Party was awesome. They had the pre-show with Conrad, the mortgage guy, plus two other guys they're hosting. MJF came out again, and he was harassing Conrad. MJF is awesome. The kid's 23, 24 years old. I talk about him all the time. He's one of the best heels in the game. And he's always busting on Conrad's weight. So I feel bad for Conrad, but he's in on the joke. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, though, MJF's going to be huge. He's a great heel. Then Sonny Kiss came out. He was there. If you don't know Sonny Kiss is a blatantly gay wrestler. He's a mulatto guy, light skin, what have you. You don't know if he's just a character or an actor, really is gay, which doesn't matter, man. I don't care what anybody is. It's all good. But as soon as he starts talking on a mic, you can tell that he's gay. But that guy is no joke in a ring, literally. He didn't say he signed with AEW, which I assume he did, but he didn't say that because they work with other promotions. But he did say he'll be at Double or Nothing, and while he's shaking his ass, he's also going to be kicking some too. So if you haven't seen Sonny Kiss, definitely check him out on YouTube. The guy's a trip. Then Cody Rhodes took the stage and he talked about AEW's partnership with OWE in China. OWE's got amazing wrestlers. You guys are going to see them when they come soon. Seriously, those guys are pretty sick. And he also announced that they just did a partnership with AAA in Mexico, the Mexican wrestling company. That's one of the biggest wrestling promotions on the planet. And it's awesome. There's so many doors open with these guys doing business with other promotions. That's where WWE fails a lot. WWE, if they make you, they won't let you leave with your gimmick. They won't work with other organizations. The only time I ever seen them do that really was with ECW back in the day when they did the one night onlys, and they were awesome shows, but I only remember like 2 of them. So I mean, definitely, if AEW keeps working with other promotions, you're going to see stars that you want to see, your favorites coming here and there, popping up, and everybody's going to be watching. And even though they're not looking to overtake, WWE, they definitely could by doing that. If WWE doesn't change up and start opening their doors and work with other people and start being greedy douches, they're going to get passed by. This is going to be like WCW, but bigger. AEW is not playing, you know what I mean? Let me see. And then, Cody introduced the AAA Cruiserweight Heavyweight Champion. His name is Sammy Guevara. Guevara is really cool. He talked a lot of smack, but the audience was sitting there just heckling him the whole time. But he said check out his matches on YouTube. He said he'll be at Double or Nothing. So definitely check out Sammy Guevara and give him a shot. They finally announced that AEW does have a website. It's called www.allelitewrestling.com. Now, this was the pre-sale for the tickets for Double or Nothing, the pay-per-view. They don't go on sale till like Wednesday. But if you go to allelitewrestling.com, you can put your email in. Monday morning at 9 a.m., you will get mailed a code. Then you can use that code at Monday at 12 noon to buy your tickets before anybody else. So Cody told everybody in the audience, you know, film it on your phone, and people at home, go to the website right now and get your code. I had to go on that site at least 20 times, and it crashed. You couldn't even do it. So, I mean, you guys, man, you guys are awesome, but you got the cons backing you, which are billionaires. Like, hire a better IT team, get better service, what have you. How do you make such a huge announcement? Not only, 1, announcing your website finally, and 2, being able to get tickets to your biggest pay-per-view early, and then the site doesn't work. It doesn't crash. It crashes. Like, that's nuts, man. You guys got to definitely get that fixed. I didn't know if the original end date was Sunday, but they did say later, trying to cover it up, that Sunday's the last day you can get your code. You can apply for a code. So definitely, guys, run, don't walk, and apply for your code. It'll come Monday morning at 9 if their servers are working. And then you can get your tickets before anybody else Monday at 12 noon. So definitely get your Double or Nothing tickets. It's going to be epic, just like All In. All right, let me see. Hangman Page then came out, and he was talking about how he wanted to come out in full gear. If you don't know what full gear is, that's when a wrestler wears their full gear. And there is a good skit going on Being the Elite, which I'll talk to later. That's what he was referring to. He said that Pac would not interrupt him this time. Like clockwork, Pac popped up right on the screen. If you know who Pac is, Pac was Neville in WWE, but before he was Neville in the other promotions, he was Pac, and he's Pac again. Pac plays an awesome bad guy. I love it. He said that Hangman is scared of him. He's going to destroy him when they fight. He cursed, and he had great lines. I hope AEW does curse just like New Japan does. That's one of the best part about New Japan, because they curse like a mofo. Backstage and post-interviews, pre-interviews, in the ring. So Pac was letting it in. What was I going to say? He told Hangman Page to bring his boots to the wrestling match. He said he'll see him in Vegas, cowboy, and he's going to make him ride off into the sunset. And Hangman said he's doing what he does best, and that's sitting at home. If you don't know, Neville didn't want to work for WWE anymore because they weren't doing anything with his character. He was too good to let go, so they actually let him sit home for a year and just paid him so he couldn't wrestle for a year. That's why Hangman said that he's doing what he's doing best, is sitting home, which is very funny. So at Double or Nothing, it will be the Bastard Pac versus Hangman Page, which is going to be a dope match. Nice. Then the Young Bucks took the stage. They were saying how they want to make the tag team division in AEW like really something, like it's not in these other wrestling divisions. And you know they're going to do that because they are a tag team. Matt Jackson's eyes were watering. You could tell how cold it was. These guys had a pool party, and this time of year, even though it's in Vegas, everybody was freezing their nuts off. It was awesome. They said that they, they are called the best tag team by the fans, the #1 tag team, but it does get lonely at the top. And like I announced last week, the Best Friends came out, Chucky T and Trent Beretta. Now, New Japan messed up with those guys. Those guys are awesome. They kind of, didn't do anything really with them. I mean, they gave them time to shine, but they're swept under the rug, just like they made Kenny Omega wait so long to become a star there. But they just gave a handshake and a verbal agreement. They should have had them sign some papers, New Japan, because the AEW snuck right in there and took the Best Friends for themselves. So Chucky T and Trent Beretta came out. They were dressed in all jean gear, jean vest, regular jeans. They looked like Scott Hall when he invaded WCW for the NWO. They looked awesome. So, they would talk to the crowd and all that, took pictures, what have you. Then they left. And then Pentagon Jr. came out and Phoenix. The place went nuts. Phoenix super kicked Nick Jackson, took him right out, and then Pentagon gave his finishing move, that pile driver, right on the stage. It was like a package pile driver to Matt Jackson right on the stage. The place went absolutely nuts. I mean, he really messed them up. So then Phoenix grabbed the mic and said, "You call this tag team #2? We're #1. AEW, get ready." So it's going to be epic. So right there, it's going to be the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers at a Double or Nothing. Another good match. There's two. Then Cody Rhodes' wife came out, Brandy Rhodes, who is the chief branding officer, a.k.a. the chief brandy officer. She's the bomb. She said that she would bring more women to the roster, and she did. She introduced 2 Japanese women who couldn't be there, but she said their name. It was like Yuka, I can't pronounce her last name, and Azua Kone. Then she brought out Kylie Ray, Smiley Kylie, who was an awesome wrestler. The crowd loved her dress, and she said she didn't know how cold it was, so she had a jacket on. They were all yelling, "Take it off, take it off." She took her jacket off. She looked beautiful in her dress, and the crowd went nuts chanting, "Holy shit, holy shit." And then Brandy introduced another wrestler she signed called Nyla Rose. She looks like a beast, like Nia Jax, but a little bit smaller, but she's big. And of course she went after Smiley Kylie and was sitting there bullying her. It wasn't cool. I don't like bullies. After that, SCU came out with Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. The crowd went absolutely nuts. They had some new dope shirts on, which I love, I must say. I like the SCU, is all your gear. And the crowd was chanting Fallen Angel for Christopher Daniels. This is the worst town I've ever been in gimmick. The crowd went nuts. And they announced that they will be hosting and throwing the official after party for Double or Nothing. It's called SCU All Night, and of course it's hosted by SCU, baby. Then they cut a promo for OWE again, the Chinese promotion, and brought out the vice president and CEO, and they announced that they would be having a match with Shima. So there's 3 matches right there announced for you guys for Double or Nothing, and they're pretty big. After that, they went to the teleprompter, not teleprompter, the Titantron, with a mini Titantron or teleprompter, whatever it is, and they showed a cell phone with a 10-second counter on it. And then they had a video game graphic of a silhouette going like this, and it said a new foe has appeared. There's only one person that goes like that and who loves video games also. The music hit, and holy, it was Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, with the title of vice president under his name. And that's what Cody Rhodes is. That's what the Young Bucks are. So there's 4 right now, which is just crazy. But I've been telling you guys, just like I told everybody last year, that's why I picked the AEW Insider. I picked the right horse to ride with. I knew these guys were going to make their own promotion. I knew they're getting a wrestling deal, a TV deal, which they are getting. And I knew that Kenny Omega would sign with them. I've been telling you from the door, and I told you he would do it tonight, and he did. He came out and he apologized for making us wait so long to announce it. There was a lot of legal issues, what have you. And he really just signed his contract this morning. He said it's really hard to explain what him and the Bucks have been meaning by saying they're going to change the world. You really can't put it into words. So at AEW, they're going to get to show us, which is awesome. Nobody is better than Kenny Omega. He's the best. I get goosebumps saying that, just like I did in my podcast. It's amazing. Then Chris Jericho's music hit. They showed the curtain and nobody came out. Like literally 45 seconds or a minute later, Jericho appeared. The GOAT, baby. He was dressed in his rock and roll gear / Clockwork Orange type thing. Jericho goes up to the stage and he starts attacking Kenny Omega. They start getting it in. Then they break up. Security takes Jericho away. Kenny Omega puts his hat on and the audience is chanting something like, you look awesome, or you look handsome, blah, blah, blah. While Jericho's cursing at him saying, in Vegas, we're going to change the universe. Then Kenny got to say his favorite line. He said he had to bid everybody adieu, and he went to say his goodbye and good night. He went to grab the microphone with the pedestal, but it wasn't removable. So somebody handed him a wireless mic, and before he said it, the crowds were yelling, you effed up, because they're idiots. But like a true professional and a man, he worked through it, and he did his goodbye and good night. Bang! But yo, I told you, the biggest free agent is literally here and he's not going anywhere. He didn't break up the band. The Elite is all together. And in June or whenever, when Marty Scurll's contract is up in Ring of Honor, you know he's coming too. And then the Elite will fully be complete again. But yes, Kenny Omega is finally a full-time and executive vice president of AEW. Now, we'll go back a little bit. I had to go over that first because that's breaking news. But on Monday, the Bucks released the newest episode of Being the Elite, episode 137. And as always, it was effing hilarious. Cody Rhodes killed it. Not saying he always doesn't, but he killed it. He's so funny because he is an executive vice president also. But on the show, even though they're playing themselves, they're over the top. They play roles. So he was sitting there using his power. He had me rolling. He had Hangman Page come in. He was at the table with Christopher Daniels and WWE's badass Billy Gunn. And he didn't want Hangman Page walking around in his full gear, which I was saying about the press conference. His full gear means his wrestling gear. And Cody told him he didn't have the body for it. And that's hilarious because Hangman Page is in tip-top shape. He's one of the best ever. So, of course, he's got the physique, but it's a joke for the show. But Cody wouldn't tell him himself. He had the 2 guys sitting right next to him and Hangman sitting right there. So he's telling him to relay the message and he's micromanaging telling him. And they're sitting there telling Hangman Page he doesn't want you to wear it, blah, blah. Hangman's like, yeah, I can hear him. He's right there. But they pretty much said that if Hangman Page gets caught wearing his full gear around like he does, he's going to get fired. And then Flip. Flip is an awesome wrestler. There's big beef with him and Cody on the past episodes of Being Elite. But he showed up. He said hi to everybody. And in the past episodes, Cody took MJF under his wing. MJF is his protege. He wants to sit there and mold him and all that. He thinks he's the nicest guy. But he doesn't know as soon as he walks away, MJF's the biggest douchebag. But that's what Flip was trying to warn him about. And Cody loves him so much, he literally got into a fight. There was a fist fight, but then they broke it up. So it was crazy. Over the weekend, Hangman and Cody made a cameo at Northeast Wrestling. The crowd loves Cody Rhodes. He came out, they're just chanting, going nuts for him. They were going nuts for Hangman too, but not like they do for Cody. And you could tell how much he loves them and feeds off of them. I love Cody also. He's the effing man. They did a bonus scene at the end of the episode when Kenny Omega was on the phone with Nick Jackson talking about being a free agent and who he should sign with. But as you know, he signed with AEW, baby. And then they also released an episode number 2 of Road to Double or Nothing, where they're doing a documentary week by week or when they can, and leading up to the pay-per-view in May. The opener showed Cody sitting there, Christopher Daniels, and another agent for AEW watching a promo on the screen. It was a dark promo, like this guy talking crazy, and it was actually for Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc is an awesome wrestler. Think Marilyn Manson, razor blades, knives, pins, all that crap, blood. That's what he does. So Jimmy Havoc is signed to AEW, and I cannot wait to see what they do with him, honestly, because he's going to be awesome. They did a big backstory on Hangman Page. If you didn't know, which I said before, Hangman Page used to be a teacher. So they showed how he used to be a teacher, how he worked so hard, his journey getting there, blah, 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 what have you. Then at the end, there were 3 people in the room, Cody, Christopher Daniels, and somebody else. And they're like, Cody, so-and-so's trying to get a hold of you again. Did you talk to him? Do you want to handle it? Cody's like, no, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. And then they said, you know, I'll handle it. And they reminded him that, Cody, you don't have a match for Double or Nothing yet. So you know whoever's on the phone trying to get in touch with him is going to be his opponent at Double or Nothing. And then Cody said he'll take his call later. He'll handle it. So I can't wait to see who it's going to be. Now let's get to the rumors. That's the end of the 2 shows I had this week. Check them out on YouTube. The rumors is that they're going to release the AEW Championship belt, the main belt everybody's going to be fighting for when they start doing their shows and the pay-per-views. There were talks about them doing it tonight at the pool party, but it's glad they didn't because it would have overshadowed a lot of things. So they're saying they could wait to Double or Nothing a pay-per-view, but I hope they release it sooner. We got to see what that championship gold looks like, what the peeps are going to be fighting for. And there are rumors, big rumors, that AEW offered WWE star Randy Orton a major buku contract. Tons of money, tons of perks, and what have you. The Viper Randy Orton, and they also have been in talks trying to get Finn Balor, too. These are two big top WWE stars, and Finn Balor was absolutely huge in New Japan before WWE. He was the first leader and one of the creators of the original Bullet Club. So yeah, they're trying to talk to Randy Orton, and it's shots fired, man. Literally, when you're going for WWE's top dogs like that, it's definitely shots fired. So be worried, Vince, definitely. And you guys do it all the time to people, so how does it feel? But people think that Orton won't leave. He's been a staple of WWE from the start. Please, they also thought that Abyss would never leave Impact, and they thought that Hogan would never leave WWE, but it can happen. Orton is on his 2nd wellness policy violation. That's when you get high, when you call getting high. If you get 3 in WWE, you're automatically fired. He's already on number 2. 1 more and he's out. And his wife is very social last year on Twitter and online about how he was not included on Raw's 25th anniversary show because he was a SmackDown star at the time. WWE hates when people go on Twitter and let the business be known, but they really didn't do anything because it's Randy Orton. But you could tell his wife's fed up with it, and he's gonna listen to his wife. Happy wife, happy life. You know what I mean? And then also, we don't know if he's definitely bored with his character direction or his career. I think he is, because they don't do anything with him. So Randy, believe it or not, could definitely take the leap when his contract's up. Collect a boatload of money and ride out the end of his career. You know what I mean? In style and paid. He'll never have to work again. Not that he doesn't now, but he'll really, 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 really be secure. And we know Finn Balor's fed up. Finn Balor was one of the most over WWE superstars, still is, and Vince actually had the balls to say he's not over and won't even really give him shots besides that cheesy one they gave him last pay-per-view. He was one of the most over stars in New Japan. He was Prince Devitt, like I said, the creator of Bullet Club. They chased him. They chased Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles. Promised them all a bunch of crap, got in a sign, and the only one they made good with is AJ Styles. Excuse me. So I know Balor definitely jumped to AEW or go back to Japan when his contract is up, and Gallows and Anderson are going to be out too. Also, some other very interesting news is that AJ Styles did not sign. I repeat, he did not re-sign with WWE yet, which is crazy. He could be holding out for more money, what have you, but he would have re-signed. They treat him like gold there. But I does know that this is his last run, and he wants a lighter schedule, and WWE works you like a workhorse. So who knows? He might not re-sign and go go with AEW with everybody else or actually go to New Japan. So it's going to be crazy to see what's going to happen with AJ Styles. So we got to stay tuned. Talking about WWE, AJ Styles, what have you, that Super Bowl halftime heat match was off the chain. If you dared watch Maroon 5, you must have been heavily doing drugs. All 6 of those guys went all out and had a ton of great spots. It was a 3-on-3 tag match. The first team consisting of the Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black and Ricochet, versus the bad guys, NXT champion Thomas Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, the North American champion, and then also my fave right now, Adam Cole, Bebe. Adam Cole had the craziest spot in the entire match. The Panama Playboy hit the Panama Sunset off the ropes. It was so ridiculous and so epic. You gotta watch him take Ricochet out with it. It was amazing. And another awesome spot was when all 6 of them were all beat up at different places. They all crawl back into the ring. They look at each other and they just beat the snot out of each other. But I'm telling you, if you did not watch that halftime heat, you have to. They went all out. NXT is always better than the main roster, putting on a show. And every person in that ring needs a call up already, besides those last 6 scrubs they called up. When Nikki Cross is in the scrub, and neither is Lacey, what have you. Neither is EC3, but still. Yeah, EC3 had his first match this week too. I didn't have that, which was awesome. And he actually won. It was against somebody big too, I forget. But EC3 is finally back. I watched him when he was in the original NXT. His name used to be Jason Bateman. He had long hair. People probably remember Bateman, don't even know it's EC3. He was awesome, but he left. Let me see. The man, Becky Lynch, has been all over on SmackDown again this week. They're milking her storyline that she has a bad knee. Now, if you watch the Royal Rumble like I did and a lot of people did, you know it's a work, which means it's fake. She got her fake knee injured during the Rumble. Later on, she came out and got thrown to the mat on the outside, and she was grabbing the wrong knee. Say it was her left knee that's supposed to be hurt. She's grabbing her right knee until she was about to get up, and a referee told her in her ear, and then she started milking the left knee. But they're still working the knee angle. Like, you guys are just so lazy, or the writers are, you can't write something else for her to be out. So they're still acting like her knees are hurting. So as I, posted, and as I also told you, that Stephanie McMahon did give her an invite to come on Monday Night Raw. She came on there, they were talking blah, 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 and Stephanie said her knee needs to be checked out by the doctor. She's got to be medically cleared to wrestle, and Becky refused to. Becky wound up attacking Stephanie and beating the crap out of her. Then the next night on SmackDown, Triple H came out to her and said the same thing. You're not cleared to wrestle until the doctor said that it's okay. He was about to leave the ring, and she asked how his wife was doing or whatever, and she goaded him on. So Becky Lynch wound up getting suspended. And that suspension is as fake as her bad knee is. That's just to keep her healthy until WrestleMania, which I don't blame them for. But a serious injury that isn't a lie, I mean, it's not that serious, but it's a real injury, is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has back problems right now. We already know what happened to him years ago with his knee when it blew out and took him forever to come back, and he's just a man. Like, I love Seth Rollins. But he's got back issues right now, but they're not bad enough to keep him out of the main event in WrestleMania, which is awesome. He earned it. If anybody's going to dethrone Brock Lesnar off that title, it definitely needs to be Seth, a.k.a. the old Tyler Black, a.k.a. the man, the number 2 man. I don't want to offend Becky, but one of the best moments in wrestling ever is when he cashed in his money in the bank and he was swinging the championship title on the stage of WrestleMania. So I can't wait. Let Seth rest, do what he's got to do so he can take out Brock, and we can actually have a fighting champion every week on Raw like we deserve to. The Elimination Chamber is next week. So the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, the female and the male match, are going to be ridiculous. And that's also when they're going to crown the first, well, it's not the first. Back in the 80s or 70s, that was the first female tag team champions, but they got stripped of the belt, a bunch of hoopla, what have you. But they brought the female championship tag team belts back. Those belts look gorgeous. And at Elimination Chamber, there's 16, 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown, and we're going to find out who's going to be crowned the women's championship for the tag teams. My picks, of course, are the Iconics. You know, the Iconics are so gorgeous, and they're just cool. Their promos are awesome and all that. And if not, I do love Mandy Rose. Not her, but my baby Sonya Deville. I don't play on Sonya's team, though. She plays with the other team, which is fine. I'm not a right fit. But if you ever change your mind, Sonya, call me, baby. You're gorgeous. So I picked Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, or the Iconics, to be crowned the women's tag team champion. Lastly but not least, whatever the hell it is called, a fan made and released an amazing pic of John Cena as Stryker from Mortal Kombat. We all know Mortal Kombat 11's coming out. Ronda Rousey's voice, doing a voice for Sonya. All the wrestlers were at the release, the reveal party, what have you. But this fan made this picture of John Cena dressed as Stryker from Mortal Kombat 3, and it looks so awesome. If you haven't seen it, go Google it. Dan Boone, the creator of Mortal Kombat, seen it, and he fell in love with it too. He said he would love to use it for DLC in the game, or maybe even in a Mortal Kombat movie. So if they make a Mortal Kombat movie again, Cena, they'll put Stryker in it just for you, because you look ridiculous in that outfit. It's awesome, man. I also heard they did Vin Diesel as Baraka, and I got to see that. I haven't seen it yet. Now, to wrap this up, we got some WrestleMania Access. WrestleMania Week news. WrestleMania Access tickets went on pre-sale Wednesday, February the 6th, and they're doing it this year at the Brooklyn Pier 12. They're doing it from Thursday, April 4th until Monday, April 8th. Tickets go on sale to the public Friday, tomorrow. WrestleCon is what I'm excited for. Like I know, my daughter and I, and she behaves anyway. If not, I'm going to be there all week long. I'm going to Access one day. I'm going to WrestleCon because I just came on my radar, and this is what I watch people do on YouTube. I'm going to get great videos and footage and all that. Plus, I'll be at the Ring of Honor pre-show, the Madison Square Garden show, the Bullet Club block party before WrestleMania, and WrestleMania. So I'm going to have tons of awesome footage, interviews with fans, maybe some wrestlers. Who knows? Just stay tuned to the AEW Insider, people. But WrestleMania Week's going to be awesome. You got Access, and then WrestleCon. They're selling tickets to their 2-day event. One ticket's $35 for a day. For 2 days, it's $69, and they're going to get more expensive as it gets closer, it says, to the date. They're going to have over 200 wrestling stars there. It's ridiculous. Some of them, just to name a few, are Sami Callihan, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Ric Flair, Brian Pillman Jr., John Morrison, Buff Bagwell, and many, many more. Caitlyn from WWE, everybody and their mother's there pretty much. Plus, they have live events going on. Like, they'll have a pancake and pile driver breakfast. You can go have breakfast with them early in the morning and get free access to the event for the day. And even Joey Ryan is doing a wrestling event. It's called Joey Ryan's Penis Party, one of those nights, like Friday or Saturday night. So I'm telling you, man, WrestleCon at the Hilton in New York is going to be the spot to be at if you want to meet your wrestlers and get up close. And you don't have to pay $190 and stand in a line like Access. Like those guys, they'll do a picture for $20, $30, and they're right there at tables. It's awesome. Let me see. The week is going to be awesome. Like I said, we will be at Mania, WrestleCon, Access, Ring of Honor, and plus more. I cannot wait to meet Sami Callihan again. I met him last August, and he is super cool, man. I want to see if he'll do a quick AEW Insider promo for me for the channel, and we'll see who it is. We'll see who else is going to be there and see what I can get. But I just want Sami Callihan. It's really after rest. And then that Bullet Club block party in Jersey before Mania itself is going to be ridiculous. I'm also still looking for a female host. It might be a little bit hard to do in here, but I can definitely work it out. If not, for my podcast. I'm telling you, a guy, girl bouncing off each other, somebody who knows wrestling, it would go really good. And these would be longer and a lot better if I got somebody to talk to, you know what I mean? Get their input, what have you. So if you're a female and you know a lot about wrestling, definitely hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Facebook. It's the AEW Insider. So I wouldn't say I'll be back next week, but I'll probably be back before that. I'll try doing videos as much as I can, or breaking news, what have you. This is actually the night of the press conference, but I'm not going to release it till tomorrow sometime because the editing takes forever, and my brother's got to go to work in the morning. So I'll be back soon. Make sure you check out our podcast. Our podcast has been getting crazy, crazy love. You guys are awesome. It's on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, iTunes, Google Play, plus a lot more. It's the AEW Insider Podcast. And then you can also check this out on YouTube, the AEW Insider. That's my channel with all the videos. You hit me up on Twitter, AEW Insider. Facebook, I got a group, AEW Insider. Let's be just throwing it out there, ridiculous. And also check out our WFW fan group. And check out my boys, Two Tooth. He's got a great group too. They do a lot of WWE. Check out his videos and his podcast. It's under Jabber Wrestling Universe. Those guys are awesome. That's my brother from another mother right there. But anyway, guys, I'll be back soon. I had to bring you this Kenny Omega news because I told you so. AEW is really taking off. Once May hits and a little bit before, it's going to be so on. I'm excited. There's no better time to be a wrestling fan than right now. But definitely, I'll be back as soon as I can. Remember, AEW Insider, pretty much on all platforms. Hit a brother up. I love to respond. I love to talk. I love to interact. Like I said, if you don't let me down, I won't let you down, and you guys definitely haven't. I will see you soon. Peace and ciao.